Computer. Okay, next step. Here's what we're going to talk about, guys. This next portion of the training is called, I renamed it. It's called 10 Steps to Working with a Buyer. Okay. The original name was serial selling. Okay. Like a serial killer has a system and they just keep doing it. Well, we have a system too, but it's for selling. And let me show it to you guys here real quick. Let me go ahead and share a screen with you guys. And so let's share and let's go find the screen that we want to share. Here we go. And let me get the slideshow going. Here we go, slideshow from the beginning. Hang with me here just a bit, guys. And let's duplicate the slideshow. Here we go. All right, so serial selling, or the 10 steps to working with a buyer. And I tell you what, guys, anytime that you can do something and have a system, it is definitely worthwhile, okay? Just give you a thought. What is a business? A business is simply a collection of systems. That's all it is. You do the same thing every month. You know, it's like me as a broker. What do I have to do the first of every month? Well, I've got to look at my Trek roster, my Gepar roster, and my MetroTex roster, and make sure that everyone's that's on my MetroTex and Gepar roster actually has a license. Okay, so things like that. It's kind of a how should I say it? Checklist. How do you fly airplanes? Pilots are really, really smart, but they've got a checklist. Okay, and so in our business, if we'll start following checklists and not take the shortcuts, I think we'll be much more successful than someone that does take shortcuts. Okay, so let's talk about this a little bit. We're looking at the screen here, 10 steps to working with a buyer. Okay, here's the 10 steps. Number one, get your license. That goes without saying. Okay, yes, cha-ching. Okay, so far so good, right? Everybody in here, all right. Check. Now, prospect. Prospect, prospect, prospect. The new word now is lead generation. Okay? 80% of your time as a new agent should be spent prospecting. Right now, you are not prospecting. Right now, you are sharpening your axe. That's what training is. Okay? And it's okay to spend time sharpening your axe because it makes you more effective when you're chopping down that tree. Okay? Because you don't just go out and start chopping because you feel like it. Okay? You got to have a plan. And prospecting, guys, every day, every day, every day, every day, every day, every day. I don't care how big the tree is. If you'll chop at it every day, every day, every day, eventually it'll fall down. Okay, so that's prospecting. Okay, I'm famous for this saying. Come to find out, you need to be as consistent as your electric bill. It comes every month. Okay, every day we've got to be prospecting. Every day we've got to be prospecting. We'll talk a little bit about that here in a bit. So you're spending your time prospecting. You're calling for sell-by owners. Okay, your calling expires. You're out there on open house. You're sending 10 cards to your sphere of influence. You're calling your sphere of influence. You're sending IMs to your friends on Facebook, letting them know about the new builder that you're representing now. Okay, letting them know about new subdivisions or whatever it might be. Okay, people love to talk about real estate, guys. But every day you need to set aside, imagine what your business would look like if you blocked off 1 hour every day for prospecting. Where you just said, you know what, from 1 to 2 o'clock or from 1 to 1:30, then I'm going to go take a 15-minute break, go play a video game. And then the next half hour, I mean, just if you were to just time block 1 full hour a day, 2 hours a day, what would your business look like? Okay, prospecting is the key, but it's step number 2 in our buyer system. Number 3, why do I prospect? Well, I prospect, Tony, to sell a house. Wrong answer. You prospect for one reason only. You want an appointment. Now here's the cool part. You're sitting at an open house, someone walks in the door, you're on an appointment. Okay, now you got to know what to say. You got to know what to do. But what we're looking for, guys, and the reason we prospect is appointments. Now don't answer me, but here's the challenge. How many appointments did you have last week? And I can tell you that the number of appointments you had last week is directly tied to the amount of prospecting you did. Okay? One day out of the week isn't going to cut it to hold open house. You really want to nail it, guys? You may be out. May need to be out there 3 and 4 times a week. Okay, Sylvia and Cookie are out there at open house. Okay, Melissa's out there at open house right now. Yeah. Okay, Pat, are you at open house or at home? Can't hear. Anyway, but bottom line is, guys, me personally, I've never had anyone show up to my house and knock on the door and say, I want to buy a house. I've tried it too. Okay, it doesn't work that way. So prospecting is key. What for? Appointments. I'm looking for appointments. That's what I need, are appointments. Now, what am I going to do on the appointment? I need to qualify people. If you don't do number 4, you will be an unpaid Uber driver. I used to say taxi driver, but there's no more taxi drivers. It's now Uber drivers. Okay, so I'm looking, guys. Step number 4 is qualify. Now, I will tell you this. Once they're qualified, we're showing. Now, let me give you a thought. Everybody gets 1 free ride. I get a phone call. They want to go see a listing. I will meet them that first time without them being pre-qualified. One of the biggest mistakes we make on that first phone call is, are you qualified? Shoot, I just want to look at this house, homeboy. What's wrong with you? Okay? Everybody gets 1 free ride. I'll meet you at a property. I'll show it to you. But while we're there, we're going to have a little bit of a discussion about qualifying, getting pre-approved. Are you working with a broker? That kind of deal. Now, if someone will not make a commitment to talk to a lender, they don't get a second ride. Okay? I tell people all the time, how many of y'all know there's crying in real estate? Okay? One of the main times, and in baseball, right? No, but one of the main times that I see crying in real estate is this one. Tony, I've been hauling around a buyer for 4 weekends. I took him to the lender, and they've got a 540 credit score. Well, why'd you haul them around 4 times and then take them to the lender? You should have taken them to the lender when? After that first appointment. If they won't go make that commitment, and it's so easy anymore. Here's my lender, talk to him. Here's the application online, fill it out. Let me send you the link. Okay, here's an app from the lender. Whatever it might be, guys, it's so easy anymore. So if people won't make that commitment, guys, keep them in your tickler file. Keep in touch with them, but I'm not going to be hauling them around every weekend because I get paid when people sign stuff. And I've got to be working with who? Qualified buyers. And buyers are a pain. Man, they will suck up your time if you're not careful. Okay? So if you're going to be working with buyers, guys, make sure they're what? Qualified. But 1 free ride. That would be my recommendation to you. Okay? Now, we get out and we go showing. Okay? That's the fun part. That's why when I'm teaching at the real estate school, oh, why are you getting into real estate? Oh, I just love to look at houses. Okay? That'll get old real quick. Okay? That'll get old real quick. But showing properties is the fun part. That is the fun part. So we keep going, guys. What's the next thing? As I'm out showing, what am I doing? I'm not out showing to show. I'm out showing to close. And we'll talk about that. Okay? I'm showing to close. Okay? This is not just, guys, I don't want to be busy. I want to be productive. So people need to expect, that's why I asked that question on that buyer data service form. Should we be fortunate enough to find the right home at the right price today? Are you in a position to proceed? Are you ready to make that offer today? And if they say no, find out why. What's the delay? What's going on? Well, Grandpa's got to come with us. Great. When can we meet with Grandpa so he can come look at houses with us? Grandpa's giving us the down payment. Because if you show them by themselves and then they bring Grandpa, what does Grandpa do? He tears up the house. Oh, it doesn't have this, it doesn't have that. And Grandpa doesn't want to give his money away. Anyway, something to keep in mind. Oof, that was close. Close for the contract. Anytime I'm asking a closing question, guys, what happens? I'm overcoming objections. People say no, and that's okay. Too many yeses is actually a bad thing. I've got someone too agreeable. Okay, we'll talk about that in a bit. And finally, guys, overcoming objections, offer, counteroffer phase is the next part of it. Okay, this is when my knowledge of the contracts comes into play. Number 9, maintaining the contract. What are we doing here? Contract to closing. We just did a little bit of training on that. Okay, so you maintain the contract as number 9. Finally, you close the sale. What are you doing? Ask for referrals. What are you doing when you ask for referrals? You're prospecting. What are you prospecting for? For an appointment. What are you going to do on the appointment? You're going to qualify. Once I've qualified, I'm going to go show. Okay, I'm going to ask closing questions. I'm going to overcome objections. Okay, finally, I'm going to get to offer, counteroffer, maintain the contract. I get to closing. I ask for referrals. What am I doing when I'm asking for referrals? I'm prospecting. What am I prospecting for? Can you see the cycle there? Okay, now, let me give you another thought. Don't wait till closing to ask for referrals. Anytime they're smiling is a good time to ask for a referral. Sometimes the best time to ask for a referral is when they get the contract accepted. They're going to be so excited. We got it. We're on our way. Man, we're already pre-approved. Man, thank you, Fati, for getting us this far. Michael, thank you for getting me this far. It's great. You happen to have any friends that might be interested in looking? You know any one person? That just happened to you. Okay, good. Did you ask for the referral?
Yes.
Perfect. Ask for referrals, guys. Again, they're smiling, they're excited, and sometimes we have tough closings. We have tough inspections. They may not be smiling so much at closing. Hopefully they are. But you guys know what I'm talking about. Okay, so move that referral anywhere you want there. But what are we doing when we're asking for referrals? We're prospecting. What are we prospecting for? Appointment. And just make sure you go down the list. The most important number up here is number 4. Most important one is number 4. Okay? So anyway, you're good to go there. Let's keep going down the path here, guys. Prospecting. Let's talk about prospecting. Your first thing, guys, your sphere of influence. Your friends on Facebook. I am them. Your database. If you've got kids and you're having a quinceañera, who'd you invite? That's your sphere of influence. Rosie and I mail out 150 Christmas cards every year. If we don't mail them out, people will think we died. But that's our sphere of influence. Okay? Who's in your sphere of influence? Okay? Sometimes we have to build that up a little bit. Social networking, your virtual world, your real world. Okay? Jessica, you're originally from out of town. All of those folks all across the country, back in Pittsburgh, wherever they're at, they need to know to call you anytime they need help with real estate so you can do a referral. Okay? So your sphere of influence doesn't have to live here in El Paso. Pardon me?
I was going to ask you about that.
Yeah. It's like, gosh, who was it? Met a couple in Fort Worth a couple of weeks ago. Long story. Anyway, helped them out with a real estate situation. Probably not going to make any money helping them, but they've already referred me someone in Oklahoma City. The very next weekend after I'd met them, they said, you know what? We're going up to Oklahoma City. We really like the way you work, Tony. Would you happen to know anyone that might help them in Oklahoma City? And so I got on the Facebook page. I started, and I found a NAREP agent in Oklahoma City because they needed someone Spanish speaking. And come to find out that even though the lady lives in Oklahoma City, the realtor, she's originally from El Paso. So we had a great conversation. But right there, I'll earn a referral fee just recommending someone in Oklahoma City. And I ain't going to Oklahoma City anytime soon. Okay, I don't have an Oklahoma life. Michael will. He's got friends up there, or family, or whoever. But anyway, are you guys cool with that? That's another way to make some money, guys. Is that that referral fee? Okay. Now, this is an awesome book. I highly, highly recommend this. Let me give you one thing that really makes me mad. Running into someone in my sphere of influence at the grocery store, and they tell me that they just bought or sold a home. And it wasn't with me. And what human nature, what do? We get mad at them. Whose job is it to keep in touch? Our job. Our job. Okay? So it's up to us to keep in touch. I was reading an article yesterday, and it was a really good article. There was an agent who early on in her career, her sister used somebody else instead of her as their agent. And ultimately, the agent got wise and said, you know what? Why didn't she use me? And come to find out, she didn't use her because she didn't have confidence in her abilities as a new agent. So what did she decide? You know what? I'm not going to get upset. I'm just going to become the best damn agent I can become. Okay? And part of what we've got to do, guys, is keep in touch with people. Now, bottom level, you can advertise. Everybody wants to spend money advertising. But you know what? Minimal impact. Minimal impact. You're hitting a broader base of people. This is what is called the informational zone. Buy this book. It's amazing. The name of the book is 7 Levels of Communication. Okay? Direct mail is another part of it. Again, you're in the informational zone. You're just giving information. Electronic communications, our social media. Again, that's just information. I tell you what, you want to be weird? Send people handwritten notes. When's the last time you got a handwritten note from somebody? Okay? Now, I'll be honest with you, I've got some little handwritten notes. I don't send them out near enough. But handwritten notes, guys, now you're getting to what? Impact. Phone calls, event seminars, one-on-one meetings. What's going on there? I am now in the influential zone. Okay? Michael, you just had a one-on-one with a seller. Okay? You were way past informational zone, weren't you? Okay? You're up there at the top, influential zone. When you're meeting with people one-on-one, that's when you can really have an influence on them. Okay? So sometimes you have to make the time. Those phone calls. Maybe you're having events, first-time home buyer seminars. Have you ever thought about having a first-time home seller seminar? Okay? Just a thought. Anyway, take a look at this, guys. And again, this is how we keep in touch with our sphere of influence. Okay? And guys, I'll be sending all this stuff to you as well. But there's the book. Michael Mayer is the guy. Awesome, awesome book. Okay? Go from relationships to referrals. Everybody talks about, oh, it's a relationship business. Well, if my relationships aren't giving me referrals, they're not really relationships. Okay? Some of this, you got to wear hard-toed shoes, guys, to sit through. But this is just the reality. This is a reality. Okay? Now, what's another way to prospect? We've got a couple of ladies out there right now. New homes. A lot of times you don't sell the house you're in. Make sure you have a list of what's around you, even on the resale homes. New homes, you'll have builder list. Okay? So you'll be able to keep up with it there. Know your inventory. Know what's out there. If your answer to this question is, let me look it up in the MLS, you don't really know your market. I'm looking for this floor plan, this or that or the other. You should be out on realtor tours, guys. You should be out looking at new homes, getting familiar with inventory. Just to go look. Just to go look. That's part of what? Inventory knowledge. Okay? One of the things that drives me crazy right now is agents don't even look in the MLS anymore. They just go on Facebook.
Does anybody know of a 4-bedroom home with a pool on the east side with RV parking?
And they're asking on Facebook. And I'm going, you not so bright person. Let's just call him that. You got the MLS. Get on the MLS. I don't know. I don't get it. Anyway, that's just me. Concentrate on the customer when you're at open house. One of my favorite questions at open house. How long have you been looking at homes? How long have you been looking at homes? And you'll find out they're an open house groupie. Oh, we've been out looking for 3 years. And then I go back to my questionnaire, my buyer questionnaire. It says, oh, well, over the last 3 years, have you seen any homes that you liked? Well, yeah, we've saw a few. Well, why didn't you buy them? Oh, they were too expensive, whatever it might be. Okay? But one of my favorite questions, guys, out at the open house is what? How long have you been looking at homes? We're just getting started. We've been looking forever, whatever it might be. But that kind of tells me when I answer that question, it gives me a direction to take with them and a dialogue. Okay? So, a little bit about open house. Getting the appointment. How do I get the appointments, guys? Rapport. Okay? I joke that there's 3 keys to sales. The first key, rapport. Guess what the second key is? Rapport. Guess what the third key is? Rapport. God, you guys are smart. I love it. Okay? I am a very observant person. Okay? I look at what people are wearing. I look, are they wearing cowboy stuff? Are they wearing Boston Patriots or Boston baseball, New England Patriots, whatever it might be? Are the kids walking in with their soccer cleats? Any little thing I can find that we might have in common, I'll try to build some rapport off of. What baseball team hat do they have on? They walk in with a Peterbilt hat. Are you in the farming business or? Oh, no, just a free hat I got. Oh, I got one of those hats, whatever it might be, but build some rapport. Another tool that I found that builds great rapport is acknowledge kids. When I meet children, guys, I introduce myself and I tell them, hi, I'm Mr. Tony Baloney. What's your name? Mm-hmm. And of course they chuckle, just like they chuckle as, oh man, I go, yeah, Mr. Baloney. You can call me Mr. Baloney if you need to. That kind of stuff. Okay.
You would build rapport with me with that one.
See, I'm talking to your kid that way. Now you're going, wow, this guy, little things like that. Okay. Now, let me give you another book to go read. Reread this. I reread this every year. Okay. Dale Carnegie, How to Win Friends and Influence People. That's one that every salesperson should read that once a year. How to win friends and influence people. And basically, what am I doing? When I'm building rapport, I'm showing that I'm interested in you sincerely. Okay? Sincerely. And it'll come across. So rapport. Getting the appointment, guys, it's a confidence building exercise many times. Let's establish a net gain to getting together. You know what? I've got about a 45-minute presentation, which I think will really help you get educated as to what's going on in the real estate market. Okay? So again, let's talk about how that's a gain for you. Okay? Ask for the appointment. It's amazing. You have not because you ask not. Some people do everything right and they forget to ask for the appointment. Ask for the appointment. Now, when you ask for the appointment, let me not get off of that just yet. Never say this. I'm free all day tomorrow. What time is good for you? What if you called your doctor and you needed an appointment and the nurse said, oh, the doctor's free all day tomorrow. What time would you like to come in? My first thought is, did this guy's patients all die? Any good doctor is busy. Any good realtor is busy. But I'm brand new and I ain't got no appointments yet, Tony. Then here's what you do. I can meet you tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. or would 1 p.m. be better? Okay. Now, if you're really cool, you schedule the appointment on the 15th. I can meet you at 9:15, or would 1:45 be better?
Why does that make a difference?
It just sounds like you're super organized. Everybody else meets at 9 and 9:30, but you've got your schedule down so well, and you're so busy that it's 9:15 or 1:45. There's a psychology to it.
Yeah.
Always give them two choices. Never tell them, "Oh, I've got all day. What time would you like to meet?" It's like, "Oh man, this person ain't got no prospects."
That's how it sounds.
Exactly. So you have to be careful of the words you're using. You really have to think about the words you're using. Either or. Give them two times. It's not when. It's, I've got these two times. I'm busy. When can you get together? Okay? You're the person that's in control. Well, I can't meet any of those times. I said, well, when are you available? Let me see if I've got time in my itinerary. Okay? The other thing is, guys, never tell them this. You know what? I can't meet you tomorrow at 6 o'clock. I'm at the gym at that time.
Oh.
I always just say I have an appointment.
Boom. I've already got a commitment at that time.
Yeah.
I've already got a commitment at that time. But I could meet you at 8. Because by then you've got your workout, showered, shaved, shinola, boom, you're ready to go. Okay? I used to have to do that with soccer practice. That soccer practice Tuesday and Thursday nights, 6 o'clock to about 7:30. I had commitments at those times. End of story, period. Okay? So anyway, people don't care that you have a life. They really don't. So anyway, qualifying the buyer, guys. We talked about the buyer data collection form. We talked about the single most important qualifying question. Should we be fortunate enough to find the right home at the right price today? Would you be in a position to proceed? You need to know that like you know your name. Okay? See how easily it just flows?
Yeah.
Okay? So anyway, showing, guys, point out some of the hidden pluses and minuses. This one drives me crazy. This is my pet peeve. Oh, and here's the kitchen. Really? Is that why they put the stove in there? I don't know. It just and
Don't state the obvious.
don't state the obvious. Point out some of the hidden pluses and minuses. Okay. Here's the other thought. Never lead through the house. Open the door, let them walk in, and see where they go. Now, I wish kids could sign contracts. Because when you're showing with kids, especially a brother and sister, they run in and they pick their bedroom immediately. Immediately. Yeah, I wish the parents would do that. Okay? But let them go through the house. Let them, and if you're following, oh, so what do you think about this? What do you think about that? Okay? Open-ended questions. Concentrate on their reaction. Ask questions. You see them making a face. Watch the body language. Or you see them, I joke that you'll know when people are ready to buy the home because it looks like they just smoked a joint. They get this goofy grin on their face and the house is talking to them. I don't care how logical people think they are. People buy homes by emotion. Okay? So you'll watch what they're doing. Check their reactions. Okay? So anyway, the other thing I would do on showing the property, guys, start moving them in. We're in February. Christmas wasn't too long ago. So, Mr. Ledesma, where do you think you would put your Christmas tree if this was your home? All I'm doing, I'm moving you in. I'm moving you in. Okay? Maybe I was already at your place and I noticed that you had a shrunk. Maybe you were in Germany in the military and you've got this huge wall unit. I said, man, I just remembered. Looks like that big wall unit you had, Jessica, would fit in this room right here. What do you think? What am I doing? Playing a little bit dumb, but really what I'm doing is I'm starting to move you in. I'm trying to create that emotional attachment. Okay? So again, something else to think about. Prepare to show, guys. Look at the pictures. Know where you're at. Know how to get there. It creates credibility. Okay? Go on realtor tour, pre-inspect. Maybe you call the listing agent if there's something specific that you're looking for. If there's obvious objections, talk about it right up front. Let them know, you know what? This might be a doghouse, but I think you'll like the layout. And then you get there and they go, oh, it's not quite that bad, Tony. Well, needs some work, but it's got potential. What do you think? Okay, but before we went, what did I say? Well, it might be a doghouse. Painted it a lot worse maybe than it was. Okay, make your appointments, verify availability. Guys, if you're a listing agent, get your sellers out of the house. I cannot get honest feedback when they know that the sellers are around the corner listening. Mr. and Mrs. Homebuyer, what do you think? And what's the answer if the owners are there? It's nice. And I never found out that, yeah, you'd buy it, but you hated the carpet. If I never find out you hated the carpet, I can't handle the objection. Okay? So anyway, the other thing you might do, buyer kit, A&A sheets. What are we talking about here? Do an MLS printout on every house that you show. You got a copy, maybe they've got a copy. Okay? The first house we go look at, we call it the parrot house. I named all the houses we looked at. Okay? Because you're going to show them 5 or 6 houses. And then they get confused. Well, which one's which? So remember, that was the parrot house. Oh, yeah, I remember that one. Oh, this one was the ghost house, or, whatever it was. Whatever, maybe those, I don't know, maybe it was a pig. I don't know, whatever it might be. Okay? Whatever it is. And then here's the other thought. You look at the first 2. Okay. Pati. Of the first 2, which one's number 1? These are the last 2 houses in the world you can buy. Which one's number 1? Okay, the parrot house. Great. That's number 1. This one's number 2. I show the 3rd house. Okay. Who's number 1 and number 2 now? The 4th house. Okay. I'm constantly helping them make a decision. When we're done, okay, that was number 1. Are we ready to write an offer on it? Some psychology when you're out there showing, okay, different ideas. So anyway, keep that in mind. Closing the buyer, no. Ask a no question. It's okay to get no out of the way. But if you'll notice, a lot of the questions that I've been asking you guys have been yes, yes, yes. Would it be a benefit to you to get pre-approved, pre-qualified? Would it be a benefit to you if we got together and I showed you the home buying process? Okay? Typically, those are yes answers. Okay? Now, how do I close? Well, I'm always closing. It's not one magical question. Okay? But what's the assumptive close? I know this is the right house for you. Man, we've been looking, and I see the stars in both of their eyes. You know what? Let's just see what this would look like on paper. And I get my pad out, and I start writing up the contract. I'm not even asking if this is the right. I'm just assuming. Just the assumptive close. Okay? That might be one. Let's see what this would look like on paper. Create involvement. How would you use the room? Where would you put the furniture? Okay, that's why I love the little kids. Oh, this is my room. This is my room. I was here first. No, whatever. Okay, but where would you put the create involvement? The 1, 2, 3 close. Keep the top 3 properties on your mind. Okay, what if the first one got a contract and you didn't find out about it till later? Well, let's better write up number 2 instead of, oh, let's get together again and see if we can find the right house. Okay, that's why I do the 1, 2, 3. An impending event. There was a builder years ago that had this sign in their model home. I loved it. The house you're looking at today and thinking about buying tomorrow is the same house that someone looked at yesterday and is purchasing today. Okay? The house you're looking at today and thinking about buying tomorrow is the same house that someone looked at yesterday and is buying today.
Oh, yeah.
Okay? Now, prices are going up, interest rates are going up. Only use this one if you know it's true. Okay? Now, let me just share this thought. I just met with a builder this morning. This is the time of year where the builders are all raising prices because all their subcontractors are coming to them saying, hey, my costs have gone up, my concrete's got to go up this much. Okay? So guess what? Prices typically on new homes are going which way? Up. Best time to buy? Let's get it now. Let's get it now. Okay? So keep Go ahead.
I'm sorry. How
Go
many
ahead.
houses would you think, I mean, would it be reasonable to show like in a day?
Oh my gosh.
5, 6.
I would say, I think I would agree, maybe 6. I think they
6?
get way too confused after that.
Yeah, because they get confused,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
Let's show 'em
And
5.
that's why
And
I think you've got to really advise them or sell them on the fact that, you know what, I picked 5, but let me show you the 25 I looked at to get to these 5.
Mhm, mhm.
Now, one of the cool things anymore is most of our listings have a lot of pictures on them. Most of them. So you could sit down with someone in the
Mhm.
conference room here
That's what it
and
is.
say, you know what, let's sit down and let's look
Mhm.
at what pops up. Oh, this is what you're looking for? 20 properties pop up. Okay, great. Let's take a look. Oh, fail, ugly, ugly. Oh, that's a nice one. Okay, boom, let's click that one. And maybe involve them in the process and you end up with the 6, the 5, okay? Whatever it might be. And I'm sure we've there's some people show 10 in a day. Show them till they wear out. No, they'll wear you out. Okay, so anyway, impending event. Now, relate a story. I knew a nice couple like you. They needed to think it over, and it sold. Okay, I've used this close many times. This is one of my favorite closings. Mr. and Mrs. Homebuyer. If I called you tomorrow and tell you that this property is sold, will it break your heart? Not will you be sad, not will it hurt your feelings, but will it, I'm going for the dagger, man. I'm going for the heart. Will it break your heart? Well, yeah, Tony, I think it would. I think this is the one. I said, well, you know what? If you don't write it up tonight, guys, I'm going to sleep good. This one's going to be on you. And I put it right back in their car. I've done my job. My job is to introduce you to the property that will meet your needs and make you happy. We obviously have that now. Oh, well, we need to think it over. What part of it do you need to think about? Now, let me give you another thought. You're with these people all day. Okay? Now, let me give you an insight into married life. Okay? Me and my wife don't talk for 30 minutes over big decisions. We usually, I know what I'm looking for, she knows what she's looking for, but sometimes it's a 3-minute conversation figuring out what we're going to buy. But because you're standing there in front of me and my wife, I don't want to look like a knucklehead and ask her an embarrassing question in front of you. So if you're smart, guys, and you're working with some partners or married couples, you say, you know what, guys, let me go get something from the car, give you guys a couple of minutes to discuss this. Let's figure out what you want to do when I get back.
Well,
You go
I
out
need
to the
return this
car.
phone call.
Yeah, I need to return this phone call. You go out to the car and stand behind the trunk of your car, pretend you're getting something. Give them 5 minutes, come back in and say, okay, Mr. and Mrs., what did you guys decide? Are we moving forward on this one or not? And usually they've made a decision by then. You just got to get out of their way for a little while sometimes.
That's true.
Okay, so anyway, food for thought. But man, I love this close. I love this close right here. If I call you tomorrow and tell you it's sold, would it break your heart? It's that same thought with that goofy sign that was in that builder house. The house you're looking at today is the same one someone looked at yesterday. So anyway, closing. Okay, want to think it over. I'll be back in a moment while you think it over. Get out of their faces for a while. Okay, get them while they're hot. What part are you having trouble with? Okay, now, how do you handle objections? CDDC. Clarify, dignify, discuss, and close. I'm showing a property. So, what do you think about this property, Mr. and Mrs. Homebuyer? You know what, Tony? I hate the carpet. Okay, so let me just make sure that I understand what you're telling me, Mr. Homebuyer. You like the home. The only thing is you don't like the carpet. What did I just do? Clarified. Okay, now in my brain I'm going, this is awesome carpet. What the hell's wrong with you? I might be thinking that in my brain, but what I'm going to say to you, I says, well, you know what, Mr. Homebuyer, other people have looked at carpet like this and they felt the same way. What did I just do? I just dignified your feelings. Okay, now let's discuss it. What if we could get a carpet allowance from the seller? Would this be the right property for you? Quick discussion, and I'm closing again. Clarify, dignify, discuss, close. Okay? It's amazing. Sometimes people will say things, and when you repeat it back to them, they're going, oh man, that really sounded dumb. Okay? Now, the other thing that I love about clarifying is it shows that you're listening. And it also shows, lets you know if what you heard was what they were actually saying. Clarify, dignify, discuss, and close. Make sense? Okay. Now, easier. Feel, felt, found. I know how you feel, Mr. Home Buyer. Other buyers have felt the same way, but you know what I found? We could get a carpet allowance. Oh, Tony, I like the house, but man, where did they find this red paint for this kitchen? So, Mrs. Homebuyer, let me make sure I'm understanding you. You like the home, but you just don't like this fire engine red in the kitchen. Is that correct? Okay. I know how you feel. Other buyers have felt the same way. But you know what I found? Paint is cheap. This is something that could easily be corrected. You could do it after closing. Maybe the seller would do it before closing. Probably be easier to do it after closing. That way you can get your people to do it. But maybe we can get an allowance or a price reduction to handle things like this. Feel, felt, found. Your 17-year-old comes to you and wants you to buy them a Corvette. Son, I know how you feel. Other kids have felt the same way. But you know what I found? You're still way too young to be driving that kind of car, and I love you too much to let you go out and kill yourself. Feel, felt, found. Just another way to handle objections. Okay? Feel, felt, found. I know how you feel. Other buyers have felt the same way, but here's what we have found. And give them a solution. It's very similar to clarify, dignify, discuss, and close. But I'm always closing. I'm always closing. Okay? If I could, would you? If I could get the owner to change out the carpet, would you purchase the property? Sometimes it's that simple. Okay? If we could get the builder to pay all of your closing costs, would this be the right home for you? If I could, would you? If I could, would you? That's another one. Okay? If we could get the seller to replace the carpet, would this be the right home for you? Mortgage and closing process, guys. I think this I threw in a little bit extra. Why do deals bomb? What's bomb? Back on market. Not that they blow up. Well, they do, but bomb actually is back on market. Okay? Contingencies didn't get fulfilled. Weak earnest money. Communication. Lack of communication. Man, you've got, and Michael, I know you've had this issue. Bati, I know you've had this as well, where the other agent maybe isn't as communicative as they should be. And that's created problems. But make sure that we're keeping in touch, okay? Please remember, don't take it personal. You're not a party to the contract, okay? I don't know what it is, but agents, oh, my buyer, my seller, my seller. You know, shoot, some of us don't take care of our kids as well as we do our buyers and stuff. No, I shouldn't say that. But it's sometimes we get irrational. Okay, yeah, we're their advocates, but let's make sure that we, you know, let's not let our emotions mess up a deal. I guess that's what I'm saying. Okay. Successful closings, guys. We've got a contract, qualified buyer. They're qualified emotionally as well as financially. We've got them prepared for the loan appointment. Realtor communicates with everybody. Check with the title company. Read Schedule C. Always attend closing. Always. This is celebration time, guys. Okay? Make sure you're at the closing. And if you can't be there, holler at us. We'll get someone there. Okay? If I'm in town, I'll go for you. Okay. Reprospect. Let me give you a statistic. I think it's on here. Look at number 3. This is an NAR, National Association of Realtors statistic. 80% of people would use their agent again if they could find them. Database, database, database. Okay. Again, call, visit, mail. Call, visit, mail. Touch them 3-4 times a year at least. Okay. If not more. If not more. Okay. Ask for referrals. So anyway, a little bit on there. So what are we doing? Everybody got their license? Okay, we're in good shape. What are we doing? We're prospecting. Why? For an appointment. What are we going to do on the appointment? Qualify. Once I've qualified them, what am I going to do? I'm going to go show. Once I've showed, closing for a contract, handling objections, offer and counter offer, maintain the contract, close, referrals. What am I asking for? When I'm asking for referrals, I'm prospecting again. There's your system. There's your system, guys. And boom, just keep reprospecting. Don't forget number 4. Don't forget number 4.
Number 1.
There you go. And keep your license active.
Oh, yeah.
I guess I should put on number 1. Besides just get your license, keep it active. Okay? Everybody cool?
Yes.
All right. I think I have filled up everybody's sponge to where no more water can go in this afternoon.
Yeah.
Okay? So anyway, Melissa, thank you for joining us. Pat, thank you.
Thank you.
Madre and Cookie, thank you guys.
You guys have a
Go
good
ahead and
afternoon.
let me turn off the recording.
Yes, comadre.
All right.
Where
Where am I?
That's it.